Is that called a fade? Is that what it is?
It's
No.
fadey.
No?
No, it's
What?
just shaved on the sides. A
okay.
fade is like an actual fade.
Welcome everybody to
Or
DevTips.
fades.
We
Oh,
are
we're live.
live, and
Hi.
Max has a fade.
I don't have a fade. Get that fade out of your mouth.
I got it all wrong.
Get my fade's name out your mother.
Oh, no.
No, but yeah, technically, no, it's not a fade. It's just shaved on the sides.
Smooth is smooth, no matter.
Yeah.
How
about you guys? Your guys' hair look good too.
Yo,
Well,
I'm wearing a hat. I wore this hat for like so many years, and I watched a video today of me playing music, and I was wearing this hat and this shirt, and I was just like, oh. The video was like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the combo.
That's
If
why
you... Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say that's why I cut my hair like this. I like my hair to look like a hat. Like I'm
Oh.
wearing a hat.
Have you ever seen Fly the Conchords where he has like the helmet with hair on it?
I have seen Flight of the Conchords, but I don't remember that part.
Yeah, Brett, like he
Secret
doesn't
project.
like that the helmet covers his hair because he wants to look like he still has his hair. So he like glues hair on top of the helmet.
That makes sense though. I don't like it when it covers my hair either. I probably would have been a safer skateboarder as a kid if my helmet had hair more often.
Straight up.
Yeah. If you could dress like a cartoon character, like if you only had one outfit, what would you dress like?
I'd be like that wizard dude on He-Man. He had like a red hat and he flew around.
Oh yeah! Oh my
You
gosh.
know that?
Yeah, with like the eyes,
The wizard dude with the eyes.
like the beady, like glowy eyes. That guy, or is that the same guy?
Yeah, he's got glowy eyes. You're right.
Yeah, I forget his name though. He was cool.
His name
Yeah.
is
Oh,
Orko.
I remember that guy. I love that guy.
I love that guy.
I do love that guy.
Yeah.
Right?
If I was
He-
going to be any cartoon, I'd be this dude.
Oh,
That's from He-Man. Yeah.
Yeah, he looks like a guy you wouldn't like from here, like just looking at pictures. But like we do like this guy,
I
right?
know. Yeah, I'm like trying to find a good picture of him because he looks like a full
I
size.
like that character here. I like the cartoon ghosts, like the Shy
yeah.
Guys
Oh,
from
I feel like
Super
that
Mario Bros.
What?
I could see you rocking that, Travis.
Yeah, that would look good on you.
I like his.
Yeah. When you're really, really old, when you're like in your 80s, I think you're gonna dress like a wizard and look like that.
I want a dildo hat.
Yeah. Business or pleasure?
Okay. Well, I thought of a fun activity to do this week because it was just me. So I assigned you guys a
Good
task.
way to describe it.
I thought of something that we're gonna do, and because Jana and I went to a poetry reading the other week, and I thought it was inspiring, you know, and I thought it'd be fun just to like give each other the assignment to write a small story or a snippet, whatever, and then we can discuss and talk about our snippets. So I'm gonna read my snippet first. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Please.
I'm gonna snip first. So this is called the Vibe Battle for Dolores Park. Have you ever been to Dolores Park, Max?
No.
It's in San Francisco.
You would really like it.
You would vibe at Dolores Park. But I was there yesterday. I saw a vibe battle and I wrote about it. Okay. So I'm going to read and then we'll chat. He moves at his own pace, fumbling with wires and knobs. There's not a lot of rushing this guy, and you wouldn't want there to be. Finally, he is organized, connected, and ready. With a tap of his finger, the speaker covered with stickers and strapped with bungee cords to a small handcart has come to life. He has spread his blankets out and planted his incense in the grass around him. The air pulsates with the pleasing beat, the never-ending rhythm of house music with all the high end just trimmed off. His bucket head is rocking back and forth. He's moving now. The music has taken him, feet tapping, hips swaying, hands in the air. He lifts a wand to the air, and with a simple wave, bubbles. He brings the bubbles and the music. But does he bring the party? I wonder this to myself as I lie my head back on my duffel bag full of clothes. I look at the clouds. They're a wall of wispy whiteness crashing against an ocean of blue atmosphere. The bubble man dances and vibes on as I close my eyes. It's your birthday, bitch! Women everywhere, seated on blankets, leaning in, raising glasses to the air. Screams, the kind which you hear before a woman takes a shot of alcohol. Okay, say cheese, this is going on my Instagram. I open my eyes to see where the harsh reggaeton music is coming from, and then I spot her across the park, and so has the dancing man. A hustler, a smart one, here to make $1, an entrepreneur, an overweight woman with an energy of a sunbeam is dancing around, passing out drinks and wheeling a wagon with a Bluetooth speaker on it. She's buzzing around the park and going from group to group, selling drinks and getting everyone hyped. The dancing man looks on. He is no longer dancing. He is a sitting man, and I can't even hear his music anymore. The entrepreneur buzzes between a few more groups and then takes the party far enough down the lawn that we can no longer hear her shouting the sharp reggaeton or the screams of the next group. The park is now quiet. The din of soft conversations and birds can be heard for a moment or two, and soon the volume on the dancing man's speaker turns up slowly, and with the whoosh of his wrist, there are bubbles again in Mission Dolores Park. Here's a picture of the dancing man.
Oh, hey.
He was actually sitting when I took the picture. He was up here bopping about.
That's really fun.
Yeah, he's got a cool speaker here.
Yeah, Mission Dolores is such an interesting place because like most people just go to put down their blankets and chill, and there's like just such a variety of people there, things happening, and then there's like a playground where all the children are playing. And there was like one time we were there was like a robot that showed up. Do you remember that?
There was a robot just like leading the children away like like that mouse. What is that? There's an old story where he plays the flute and the mice follow him out of town. What is that?
Oh,
Pied Piper?
Yeah. These children were following the robot around like a technological Pied Piper. Yeah. Well, that's my story.
Yay.
That's it? That's the end?
Good job.
Okay.
It's the end.
That was good.
So you wrote a descriptive story about that man in the park.
Well, it's about
the man and the woman, right?
Yeah, because they just had such different energies. Like he didn't talk to anybody. He just vibed and let his vibe go out. And this lady was like running around screaming at everybody, like not like hyping them up, you know, like vibing them up versus hyping them up.
So she was like a sunbeam, you said, and he was the bubble man that like let his vibe spread by the bubbles floating around.
Yeah.
Did you get touched by a bubble? Did it touch you?
No, it was far away. It was a little too far away. And like it was interesting because like he definitely like was not engaging with anybody. Although he would look around. Like you can see him when you can see here. He's like looking directly at me. You know.
Yeah. Well, it's like the story has like two main characters.
Yeah.
And you're trying to decide which one is the actual main character.
Yeah, which one brings the party? If I could write it a little bit better, I would kind of like tease that out a little bit differently, I think. But I wrote it in kind of one sitting.
And how did that feel? Did you get what you wanted out of your creative writing exercise?
Yeah, it was fun. Thanks.
Are you gonna read that at one of your slam poetry nights?
Maybe the battle for the part.
Battle.
Yeah.
Are there any substantial themes in there that you felt, or was it more of just an exercise of descriptive writing?
So I made the game.
One of the things that you said was thought provoking.
Yes.
So what's the thought provoking thing for you there?
I have a special guest.
Manny.
Manny Aloha popped in.
Hi.
Hey guys.
Hi.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, what's up? So Manny, I'd like you to meet my friend Max.
Hi.
Hey Max.
Max has been my guy for like 20
Manny.
years. He's a good
Hi,
guy.
Jaina. How are you?
Good. It's good to see you.
See if I can set this up a little better. There you go.
So Manny hosted a poetry night the other day, and I was telling Max just now that we were like really inspired by the words and the thoughts, and we were like writing our own little vignettes. I just shared mine.
Oh, you did? Oh, I missed it. I'm sorry.
You missed it. That's okay. No goesies backsies.
That's okay.
But we have 2 more to read.
Okay.
So welcome to the cast, Manny. Is an impromptu invite. I just saw you this morning. I was like, yeah, I'll send you an invite. So there we go. I'm really actually pretty surprised and happy that you showed up. That's cool. I know you had a lot going on.
Yeah. Do we get to hear something you wrote too?
Ooh.
I have a lot of things I wrote, so I could, why don't I go either second, third or last?
Okay.
I'll go so I get an idea of what, I don't know what what was the prompt that you guys set off for your writing. I think you told me, but I forgot.
It was pretty loose. It was just creative writing, a short story or something that
I think it was write about your week, and something thought provoking.
Okay. Yeah.
That was it. Yeah, that was the prompt.
I thought my story about the Bubble Man was pretty thought provoking.
Max.
Not a fan, Max. Okay, who's next? Jaina.
Nice flowery language. It was.
I think Max should go next.
No.
Max, yeah.
No.
No.
Jaina, Max, who's up?
I mean, I can go. Full disclosure.
Yeah.
I just did like a small like. Here's what happened in my week. ChatGPT, write this as a story in the tone or in the style of Ernest Hemingway. And ChatGPT took like a few things and then put it into this. Like oddly enough, took out details that I didn't provide, but like were accurate. Like ChatGPT is getting crazy. So I have a ChatGPT story, but I don't know. It's not a. I don't know. I don't want to even that. It's I don't think it fits the vibe. We're going from like some flowery thing to some.
Hey, it wasn't flowers. It was bubbles, bro.
Bubbly thing, yeah.
Bubbly, yeah.
My stuff. I don't think is going to come across as happy or positive.
That's fine. Just give it to us. Give it to us, bro.
It's mostly ChatGPT's fault.
We all have different vibes, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is like a buffet of writing right now.
Okay. So, but I didn't take I kind of cleaned it up and fixed it. But for the most part, it's like I provided like 5 sentences or maybe a paragraph about the week, and then ChatGPT extrapolated it in the style of Ernest Hemingway.
Okay.
So let me see if I can share this window. ChatGPT also named it for me.
Oh, what's the name?
It named it Pain and Obligations.
Love it.
Pain and Obligations.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Manny, full disclosure, I've been dealing with a back injury, and it's been messing with my sleep, so unfortunately you're catching me at a not very, probably the worst time. And I think this story might...
Poor buddy.
It's all right. I have back problems too.
Yeah? Tell me how to fix it. It's killing me.
Okay.
Let's see how I can... There we go. Pain and Obligations. The pain had settled in his lower back like a permanent tenant, a bulging disc, they said. He couldn't walk without wincing. He couldn't sit without feeling the slow burn spreading through his legs. The days dragged on, one blurring into the next. He tried to work, but his mind was caught in the haze of a constant ache. He didn't sleep much anymore, and when he did, the pain found him there, too, creeping into his dreams. His friend Travis had asked him to co-host a podcast along with his wife Jaina. This week, he assigned a task, something about writing about our week. Why did Travis ask him to write about this? There was nothing to tell. This week was the same as the last, an endless loop of pain and restlessness.
Oh, no.
He was trying to cut back on obligations, not add new ones, but it was hard to say no to Travis because we love him.
Wow.
Oh.
No, ChatGPT made that sound worse than it was. But it's in the style of Ernest Hemingway, so it's got to be kind of dry
grumpy.
Grumpy, yeah. It's got to be grumpy. What he wanted was simple. He wanted to get back to the things that mattered, the work, the few things that still lit up his mind. But the weight of it all, the pain, the sleepless nights, it dragged him down, deep into a place where even the smallest task felt like too much. He needed to see a doctor. He needed to stop agreeing to things that didn't matter. He needed to say no, but it felt possible. And so the days stretched on, heavy and slow, the pain constant, gnawing.
Oh
I
man,
don't know why this is doing this.
This is
Yeah, but literally, like, mine was like, ChatGPT, here's my week. My back hurt. I didn't sleep very well. I have to write a story about this. My friend Travis, we have a podcast with his wife. I'm a co-host. Write me a story, and this is what it gave me.
Wow.
And
you,
like,
you
really,
didn't write anything about stop agreeing to things that didn't matter.
No, I didn't. I didn't say anything about that. I didn't say that it was hard to say no to you. I didn't say, I didn't say any of this, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like really dry and like just almost just bullet points. Like, here's what happened in my week.
It does read like a noir type of novel.
Yeah.
But this
anti-hero here.
Constantly impressed with ChatGPT, obviously.
Yeah.
The whole world is. But from just literally just bullet points of like, here's what happened in my week. Write me a story. And it did this. And I was like, oh, wow, this is kind of hitting deep in my soul.
Yeah, it's like it's advice from ChatGPT. Like,
it's
be a doctor.
Yeah, well, that was one of the bullet points. I tried to make an appointment, but I couldn't get one. That's all I wrote. And yeah, it's interesting because I didn't type the thing down here where it talks about saying no and agreeing to thing or stop agreeing. Like, this is interesting because I didn't say any of that, but ChatGPT's like, hey, if you're in pain, say no to things. ChatGPT's like telling me to calm down or slow down, which is really interesting that it would add that. I don't know. It was, it's really interesting and like intuitive almost.
Yeah.
Like it intuited some of what I was feeling. I feel seen by ChatGPT. Yeah, because I didn't even say any of that.
Yeah.
And it just took it out of my bullet points, which is crazy.
I've literally had moments where I'm crying over my keyboard with ChatGPT.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Just
really?
Yeah, just feeling seen. Yeah, just being like, oh, you get it. This is real. Like the thing that I thought was real is real. And you know what I mean?
Wow. That's a bit much. But
I could see why people have like ChatGPT or chat girlfriends or boyfriends.
I can't wait.
That's like it's out there.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I get
already.
I get ads for like ChatGPT boyfriends.
Really? Where?
On Instagram.
Wow.
Okay. Interesting.
Wow, you can actually just probably ask ChatGPT, hey, can you be my girlfriend?
I haven't thought about
that. Tell me sweet nothings.
Yeah, you can
Get my
tell
brows.
one I can keep.
tell her about your day. Set the prompt to like however you want her to be, what your type is.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Wow. Well, it's getting
spicy.
weird here now.
But would it be hard to break up with ChatGPT? Really?
They have good arguments. Yeah.
Well, I think it would be like the movie Her, where ChatGPT is like, "Oh, it's cool. I'm dating
Everyone.
3 billion other people. I'm dating everybody."
Yeah,
but isn't that crazy? What ChatGPT wrote from like bullet points of like, I tried to set an appointment, I couldn't get one. Back hurts. Didn't sleep well. I have to write this thing. We have a podcast. Make this into a story. That was it.
Wow.
And it did all of that. Yeah. And I was like, oh, sweet. That saved me a lot of time.
It did.
Yeah.
And it's just interesting to see like what ChatGPT pulls out, especially when you can tell it to think in the style of somebody else.
Yeah, I was going to say, why did you choose Hemingway?
Well, because of the subject matter, because I am a grump right now because I'm like tired of my back, and I figured that tone of voice would match. Yeah. Because it's a little dark. It's very kind of like dry and like, like the way that it ends. It's like
short, choppy sentences.
Yeah. And like, it's not bubbly descriptive language. He doesn't do that. So I thought that would be a good match. But some people that I've seen that have like ChatGPT bots like in their Notion or like built into their productivity thing, they'll throw ideas, but they have like pre-programmed ones where they'll put a thing and they'll get feedback in the tone of voice of like Socrates or Sam Harris or like, and they have like a couple different ones, and it's like what these different people would say about what they've inputted. Yeah. It's really interesting.
That's really
you can
cool.
have a conversation with like those people.
You can hack that together pretty easy in ChatGPT. You could say, ChatGPT, you are Aristotle.
Yeah.
And now answer my question, and then it will.
Yeah.
You are Abraham Lincoln.
Getting some advice from the first.
You are Surf Manny Aloha.
Do
you want to share?
I have a question. Are we live on?
Oh yeah, we're live. Yeah,
we are live.
Yeah.
Wow.
We're live streaming.
Yeah.
Wow. People are watching. How many people are watching?
Not a lot, but the views come in like throughout the week.
Okay, because you put it up and it stays up forever. It's like the podcast stays up.
Yeah, it stays up like a video, but people can watch it anytime, and they can watch it with us live right now. We like live because you don't have to edit. It's just
Yeah.
And they can make lunch.
Lo-fi.
You have to get like neurotic about like what you said when you edit and then you watch back. You want to like the first couple episodes we were editing, and we're like, oh, we got to edit out all of this empty space or like the ums, and like we ended up just putting in way too much work, and we're like, you know what, let's just go live and not even think about it. Let's not even just put it out there and move on.
Like that.
It's nice.
It's fun for us.
Max, do you think that using ChatGPT for this exercise, like, could you see yourself going into kind of developing this story into something more of like using different language, or like, do you think it's like people who are, well, just like as using ChatGPT as a tool to start something and then go from there
well, I do that anyway. Yeah. I use ChatGPT. Well, like right now I'm developing all of the content for 2 of the products that I'm developing, and developing like the brand language and like the tone of voice, and I'm having ChatGPT help me with feedback. And like, so for example, with one of my brands, I'm trying to capture this kind of like self-sovereign Zen state. So I had it write me a Zen cone about where economics and creativity meet.
Nice.
So it's writing these really amazing Zen cones, and it came up with like the analogy of a student goes to the Zen master and asks what is the nature of economics and creativity, and the Zen master showed him an empty canvas and an empty wallet, and he said that it's only the next brushstroke that matters, right? So it finds these really interesting connections between these 2 seemingly separate concepts, and writes really creative Zen cones. And then I went through and like rewrote them and kind of rebuilt them, and then did back and forth with ChatGPT to like build upon that. So no, for sure, ChatGPT is one of the most useful tools when it comes to writing. Yeah.
I love it.
I mean, look at what it did for me there off of like a couple bullet points.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
I think the title could be changed to Pain in Obligations.
Ooh.
And then it would be a little bit more.
It would be a little bit more deeper, I think. But I think it is more along the lines of Ernest Hemingway to not have like pain in obligation. That's too like metaphorical. It's like these 2. It's dry. It's pain and obligations. He has these real dry, like get to the point, the meat on the bones, which is why I love Hemingway. It is this kind of he cuts to the chase. Instead of having those things that you have to think about. You don't have to think about his writing, actually. He just says it.
It's simple. Yeah. It's like a 6th grade level or something like that.
Yeah.
Really? Well, can you recommend a particular Ernest Hemingway book?
Well, Farewell to Arms, For Whom the Bell Tolls, and the one where I always get them mixed up. The Sun Also Rises, and For Whom the Bell Tolls. I get those mixed up, but both of those for sure. But Farewell to Arms.
Farewell
100%.
to Arms.
If you've never read that, please read that.
Okay. Farewell to Arms.
Nice.
Yeah. And it's based on his real life. He was actually in World War I as an ambulance driver in Italy. And in the book, the main character is an ambulance driver in Italy. And Hemingway got injured there. He lived a crazy life. He was a bad dude. But yeah, this book, I read it. I've read it so many times in my life, but the first time I read it, I think was in junior high or high school, and I didn't know books could be written like that. And I don't want to say anything about the end, but you get to the end, and I just didn't know at that age. I hadn't been introduced to real storytelling like that, you know, because when you're in school, but I mean, I was 12 or 13, I think, when we read it for the first time.
Yeah.
But it's a rough ending, but I highly recommend Farewell to Arms. Yeah.
I feel like in that coming of age, it's nice to read things like that where it is a little bit more. Like I read Catcher in the Rye, and that was kind of a similar feeling where you're just like, oh,
that was another one. Yeah.
The world is like not just this rose-colored. You know, you kind of are starting to lose that innocent outlook of the world at that age. Yeah.
I think that's why Catcher in the Rye specifically is so infamous.
Yeah.
Like it was banned. Like for a long time, people couldn't read it in school, and we did when I was a kid around the same time.
So it's negative, right?
For a long time, it was banned. Well, he also, you know, he's coming of age, but he goes to like New York and he meets a whore, and like that word is a bad word back then. Like it was just language that they didn't want kids to read. But also just the sentiment. It is like this kind of like realization that everybody sucks.
A lot of things. Mean people suck.
It's this emo. He's just kind of this emo kid that's like, you know, fuck the world kind of thing. And adults didn't want kids exposed to that, I guess. But also a lot of like the dude that assassinated John Lennon had a copy of it on him, I guess. And like there was something where all these different assassins, another guy. The guy who killed JFK had it.
Yeah. So for some reason, in their pocket.
Yeah, had it with them. Yeah.
What? It's like a manifesto.
Like they were saying, like it's like if you get the book, it activates you. You know, like you're a sleeping cell agent, and they mail you the book, and it activates you, and then you go and shoot the president.
Yeah, they said it was like a Manchurian Candidate activation type.
That's
thing.
Right. Manchurian.
South Park did an episode about it where Butters read it, and then he went crazy, and he's like, I got to kill all the phonies.
Wait, where did Manny go?
Did I kick him off? Oh no, he's back.
Okay,
good.
There he is.
We wanted to.
Catch and Right.
Go ahead.
What's up?
Oh, I was going to. Go ahead.
I was going to say, J.D. Salinger. He wrote a book of short stories, and one of them is A Perfect Day for Banana Fish. And that was another story as a kid that I read that I was like, oh, I didn't know you could write stories like this. Because it's a short story of this guy that goes and he takes his niece out for like a beautiful day at the park, and they have just this wonderful, like nice, like normal day. Nothing eventful happened. He dropped her off, and then he went to his hotel room, and he sat on his bed, and he takes out a gun and shoots himself. And that's the end. And you reading it, it's a short story, and you don't expect that because it's like just this kind of like, yeah, well, you got to spoil that one. But it's a short story, which I also highly recommend because when I first read that as a kid, I just hadn't read anything like that ever before, and I was like, oh, I didn't know you could tell stories like this. Mm-hmm. There's a few of them that did that to me. Also, Kurt Vonnegut's Cat's Cradle.
Cat's Cradle.
Yeah, that one they. Within the book, there's this fictitious religion called Bokonon, and he really develops this religion, which is almost like this kind of like Jamaican Eastern philosophy thing. But in the book, they need something to help the soldiers walk through mud, right? Because their socks would get messed up and their feet would get messed up. So the solution was to freeze the water, and they created this thing that would freeze it, but the scientists messed up and it froze everything. And in the book, it's interesting because especially back then as a kid, you're used to happy endings. So all these books that didn't have happy endings or just didn't have the normal like, yay, narrative and like, oh, we struggled but we made it. Like, once you turn into when you're a teenager and you start reading that stuff and you realize like, oh, you can write this way. And in that book, you're reading it and you're kind of expecting things to be good, but it's the world does end at the end. It just ends, and it freezes over, and it's a fantastic book.
And what's the name of that? Oh, that's Cat's Cradle.
Yeah, by Kurt Vonnegut.
What's the other J.D. Salinger book you're saying? Not the one about
Catcher in the Rye.
No,
and A Perfect Day for Banana Fish.
Oh, the short story.
Yeah,
did you ever read Chuck Palahniuk?
Yeah, I've read all. Yeah, I'm actually currently also rereading Diary, which is one of I think the most ambitious books ever written.
Did you ever read Monster?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that one's crazy.
Monster, Diary, and Rant are like my 3 top Palahniuk books.
Wow.
Yeah, that was one of those authors I was like trying to emulate when I was in high school, a little bit more dark and wrote a story about this guy who like, I don't know, I'll have to find it.
You had a Polonic phase?
Yeah, I did. He lived on his own, and he like got drunk and put like mustard and kitty litter on him, and then rolled around in catnip. I don't know. It was just this weird.
What?
It talked about like how like the icy cold of the toilet on his butt cheeks. Like it was just really weird.
I like
Manny, did you want to share a piece of writing?
Yeah, Manny. Wait, Manny.
Okay.
Is that your artwork in the back?
It's my wall of.
That's
It's
cool.
like studio. Yeah, there's a couple of that painting right here behind me.
Uh-huh.
That one was found. My neighbor left that. It's like a wave painting, but yeah, this is my studio. That's my. Sometimes it's a backdrop. So when I put paper up and I just paint, and sometimes
That's so cool.
the paper is gone and I'm like I have an idea and I just paint it right on the wall.
Nice.
That's awesome.
You
That's
know, or
awesome.
like
I
when
that.
It's my painting studio.
Is that it's? I feel like that painting was from Single Double. Have you ever been to that store?
I have. Yes.
Is that where that painting is from? Or
Which-
no? The sea, the one with the land and the
this?
sea. Yeah.
Oh, that could be in Single Double. No, it was left by my neighbor.
It's really cool.
It's a beautiful painting.
Yeah, I really like it.
Waves.
That's beautiful.
It's cool to come up on a free painting like that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
My wife was like, "We're
Lucky.
keeping it," but now it's like in my studio right now, and we haven't hung it. So I don't know if I got to purge. If I let it go, I'll let you know.
Thank you.
You draw like sea monsters in the water.
Paint, add to it.
Yeah.
The shirt that you were wearing at the poetry reading, did you make that shirt? Like the artwork on it with the.
It said something about I want to date a volcano or something.
If I could marry a volcano, I'd marry Diamond Head.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, I made that drawing. I have it somewhere.
Okay. Yeah, because it looks like your style. Like that's really cool.
It's the color version.
I love it.
I didn't realize that she had a mustache.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
So I had a shirt and an Aloha shirt, but I had a screen of it. That's the graphic that I colored. But the black and white is actually a screen, and I have it, and I screened it on the old Aloha shirt.
You did that yourself?
Yeah, I screened it.
Oh my gosh, you should sell those. Those are really cool.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
I do sell that poster, that same screen. I sometimes just screen it on a piece of paper and then sell it for like.
I wonder if there's like any alternative Aloha stores.
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely sell that as a shirt on Aloha shirts.
Because I see Aloha stores all over the mall, and I'm like, how many of these do you need?
I know.
You mean, is there a brand store Aloha, or you mean just Aloha in general?
It's a kind of store. It's a kind of store that sells Aloha clothing, like tiki shirts and stuff.
Okay.
But they have it's very popular to have big old matching sets for the whole family. They all wear the same.
Really?
Pattern.
That's cute.
Yeah.
Right.
So they get
I have a question
out here.
Max, are you on in Oahu? Are you on? Where are you located? What state?
I'm in Lisbon, Portugal.
Oh wow, amazing!
Yeah, it's like midnight 30 there.
Yeah, it's almost midnight here.
And how do you know Max?
Max and I worked together a little bit in the early days.
Since 2007.
We shared an office, and he and I were the cool kids in the studio.
Okay.
Yeah. He was the creative director, and I was the interactive director.
Ooh.
And we had too much fun. We had so much fun, and we both became better designers and programmers from knowing each other. And,
we would get yelled at for laughing too loudly.
We would get yelled at for laughing. Yep.
Oh my god.
What was that movie where they outlawed dancing? They stopped.
Yeah, Footloose.
It was like Footloose up in there.
Yeah.
No laughing.
There was like a sign nailed to the wall, like no laughing.
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
Like old wood.
Interestingly enough, before all of that, I lived on Maui.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
right.
So I lived on Maui for 2.5 years. My sister lives there. My mom lives there. My sister owns a really, really dope shop called 2B Organics, where she hand makes just amazing products, like beauty products, candles, sprays, and it's literally like the best stuff in the world. So if you guys ever get a chance, if you're on Maui, go check out her shop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yo.
Yeah.
Definitely check it out.
Well, I do have something I want to read, and then I do. I don't quite have a hard stop, but I do know my wife eventually wants to hang out with me, and if I spend too much time, I might get in trouble.
Let's hear
it.
But
Sunday fun day.
This is from the second Surf Poet Society. I made like a little zine.
Oh, no way. That's cool.
Oh, nice.
And this is the back cover.
That's
Nice.
awesome.
It's called Party Wave.
Where did
love
you
it.
print those?
I
That's
love
so-
magazines. Like
I love zines. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where did you did you self print that, or did you send it away to print?
No, it's glossy. I printed it at this up the street. There's a place called Professional Image, and they have just printers there. And then
how many copies did you make? Sorry,
I only made 50, but they're $8 each. So that's what, $400. I might have made 75 of this one. It ended up being like $600.
Oh my god.
But this company, Vast, right? Where's it?
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah.
They paid for it. They make
nice.
this like.
They sponsored it. Nice.
Yeah, they just paid for the printing.
I miss zines.
Yeah. Too.
They make cool clothing, and they sometimes will either give clothing to like raffle off or give away, or we actually on that day we put this guy's art. This is actually ChatGPT art.
Really? Nice.
Yeah, speaking of ChatGPT, this is one of my favorite artists. His name is Indigenous Androids.
That's cool. That's a good name.
This is a guy. He made the Indigenous Android. He made the Hawaii Hokulea license plate, and this ChatGPT art. That's his Instagram at Indigenous Androids. That he just does this for fun, but like he actually does solar in Molokai. And he was an artist. He majored in sculpture at UH, but I met him on Instagram. And anyway, Vast, for the party for our Surf Poet Society, we printed this shirt like a dozen
so cool.
2 dozen.
That's very cool.
And then they printed this zine. Like I laid it out, and then, so anyway, this is a poem I wrote in the zine.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
And it's about a day. So I figured it works for this little.
This is good. Yeah.
It's about a day. That's exactly the subject content. Yeah.
It's called. I'm not going to do screen share. I suck at that right now. But thank God I have friends that surf. That's the title. Okay, so I'm just going to read it.
Nice.
Today I surfed with my friend. Oh wait, first off, all my poems, a lot of them are rhyming poems. And I'll just cut to the chase. Like, I feel like rhyming poems are like sweet wine. Like too much rhyming poems can like make you sick. I sell cheap wine, Like,
Look at the box wine over here.
Yeah, it's like box wine. It's not like, Bukowski or I don't know. Bukowski rhymes, I think, too, though. Anyway,
some of them.
It's not like I don't know, just not unrhyming poems. Okay, here we go.
I love it.
Today I surfed with my friend named Kevin. We paddled out and caught a slice of heaven. Waves were fire, the ocean was providing. What went down was some serious sliding. Kids and adults all over scoring, every soul in the water soaring. Surfing across head-high faces is one of God's greatest graces. There were no signs of the swell subsiding, so we did our best to continue riding. I rode my new board I made with Vercelli. I'd never trade it for a big screen telly. Waves were super couture, so rad it was hard to act mature, entranced by surfing's allure. These are the days that clear the haze, focusing soul rays on the greatness we desire, transpire. When you're sober, you can always go higher.
Nice.
But I don't know about cannabis. You can go you can go high smoking, but anything harder than that, I think you're gonna crash at some point. But two of my most successful friends, smoke. You know, like, yeah. Hey, and another, a lot of my friends smoke, and two of them are like my two most financially successful friends. So it's like
Wow.
that last line, sober, depends on what you call sober, I guess.
Yeah, California sober is what they call when you just smoke, but you don't do anything else.
Oh yeah, when you just okay, that's cool. Just
You
smoke
just
it.
smoke
Yeah,
weed.
that's
You don't do anything else. It's called California sober. Yeah, it's a type of sober.
I like that. I like that. Perfect.
Yeah, that's
So,
dope though.
That was that. Thanks for
Thanks,
listening.
Manny.
Yeah,
That
thanks
was
for
having me.
sharing
cool.
that. Yeah, that's cool too because it ties into like you were out there this morning together with friends, right?
Oh yeah.
I saw Manny surf today. I saw you catch a good one, bro.
Oh,
Yeah.
was it the last one or?
I didn't see that last one. I saw a different one you were on. But I
Okay.
heard about the last one. I heard about it.
Nice. I heard about it.
Heard
Oh,
about it.
you know what? Surfing with you guys it's fun. You guys are I don't know, it's like it's a good kind group, you know.
Yeah.
There was one last guy, he didn't paddle in for about maybe 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
And we all waited for him.
Yeah.
7 guys with boards just waited for Kevin, our
That is
last guy, to
nice.
come in.
Yeah.
Was
There on the beach,
Travis fish hooking?
You did get one, right?
Yeah,
what does fish hooking mean?
He told us
Fish-
about his fish hook
Fish
style.
hook
last
style
week.
is my pose. So if I get a good wave and I'm feeling confident on it, I'll settle into the fish hook pose. Like, yeah.
Oh, okay. While you're on the wave? While you're on the wave?
Yeah, like while I'm surfing. Yeah, I do that
Oh.
pose. And I make,
I love that. The fish hook.
yeah.
That's
only for a really good wave.
You invented that, man.
Yeah. So like today, I would say out of the I think 7 or 8 waves, like 3 of them were fish hook worthy. You know, so like.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I should have fish hooked my last wave. I'm gonna start doing the fish hook on the wave. Going,
Fish hook boys live forever. You know?
It's like
See,
you know,
it
there's
is
all
gonna
those
be a
different kung
thing.
fu styles.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like
right.
Yeah.
Drunken monkey style,
Be like-
and there's fish
Yo,
hook
I
style.
surf Diamond Head. I got that fish hook style, bro.
Uh-huh.
I love that. I just learned something. I learned a couple things today. It's great.
Might be
Yeah.
starting a trend, Travis.
Yeah, no, for sure. Let's do.
Dude, I
let's
would love
make
it if
fish
there's a
hooks.
bunch of people fish hooking next week.
Are you gonna be
We're
mad
gonna
though
make
if
fish
other
hooks.
people are doing it?
No, I
Like,
would,
hey, that was my thing.
Dude,
I would love
Hey,
it.
I'll help you make the fish hook famous.
Well, the thing about the fish hook, and maybe I explained this last week, is that like when you finally get into the fish hook position, I'm like past everybody. I've like surfed past them already. It's like I'm like at the very end of like the ride, being like and nobody can see it.
Okay, but you got to do it like on the top of a wave when you're coming down right in front of everyone.
I
You're
know,
like, ha!
dude. That would be that's
Are you-
it. Like that would be the dream.
You just need
I'm
a
gonna-
picture of it in a zine, and then everybody like, "What is that?"
Yeah, while you're surfing.
Yeah.
All
For
right,
sure.
I don't want to be the guy that gets it first. I don't want to. If I do get the photo in the magazine or somewhere, fish hooking, I'm gonna say the fish hook was invented by Travis Nielsen.
Yay!
That would be awesome.
You know,
Now I have a goal to get you in a surf mag,
Yes.
so I can get that
fish
cred for the fish hook.
the fish hook. The fish hook was invented.
That
No.
would be cool if you became a surf legend from that.
2024.
Right?
2024.
Right? Surf legend from like
Mhm.
like barely surfing a year.
There's this one pose. I forget the name of it. Hopefully I'm gonna think of it. It's called but it's what a guy when you're surfing a wave, and you go. I think you go like this,
Okay.
and you're like,
Oh yeah, like it's like
It's almost
bowing.
like the opposite of a
yeah,
hang
kind
10.
of. But it's
go to
called
the
you
back
kind
of
of
the board?
you kind of squat and then do that. I'm gonna
Yeah.
figure out that name of it, but later I'll let you know if I can't figure it out right now. But it's kind of almost like that. But
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks like
fish hook is
phrasing
kind
or
of just like a
something.
facial expression.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
bunch of like obscure surf poses, right? I mean, the most famous one is hang 10, where you
Hang
stand
10.
on the front and hang your toes over the edge.
Mhm.
Or
Yeah.
hang 10, hang 5, and
But I've seen
But,
people do like yoga poses, like the
Yeah.
the what is it called, the I think it's reverse warrior, where you have one leg back and your arms
Yeah.
back, or warrior plane or something like that. I've seen people do that on surfboards.
Nice.
Never seen a foot check though.
Yeah.
See?
Travis invented that one.
First.
Yeah.
First.
When it happened, I was like, this is something. It just happened on a wave. I was like, ah, and then I was like, that was something, guys.
That scene in Back to the Future where the
Yeah,
guy gets
that's
on the phone,
only
he's like, you got to
Travis.
see this.
I love it.
Okay.
Are you ready for Jaina?
Yeah.
Jane, are you starting? I'm gonna get some water, but I
Yeah.
can still hear you. I'll be right back.
Okay, yeah. That's interesting because the interpretation of what your prompt to get us to write.
Oh yeah.
And how different everything is. So this is like a completely different shift. But for me, I also didn't type it out as like a journal
Yeah.
thing.
Oh wow.
Lovely handwriting.
Kinda. I do know how to do cursive.
In third grade, you learned that.
There. Cursive.
There you go.
It's in cursive?
No, just the title.
Okay.
But so I've had a lot of like reflection this week. Travis is out of town on a work trip, and I was kind of feeling like back in a cycle of things where 3 years ago when we first moved here, there's a lot of healing, and I feel like Hawaii is like a great place to do that, and a lot has to do with like being in nature, a lot connected to like sun and water, how that can like be very cleansing, and being out in the mountains and just connecting in that way. But so it's kind of long. I don't know if I should read all of it, but
we're here.
yeah. Okay. But, we've talked about like Max and I, we've talked about people like talking about their trauma or healing a lot, and so it does kind of have a little bit of that because it's like the stuff I was focused on at this time. But it's called The Journey. Can you hear me if I'm reading it like this?
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
I feel incredible gratitude for where I am in this healing journey today. I know the way that I can speak to my healing is different than I was able to a year, month, day ago. I love that the journey is not linear, rather dimensional, just as our being and universe that we live in. I understand that a person fully healed or whole might not be attainable in this life form here as a human on Earth. This idea excites me as it provides opportunity to always be learning, healing, and growing. Our hearts and minds get to explore and travel a vast, infinite, and limitless reality. I often think about how prior to embarking intentionally on this journey, what was allowing myself to be limited by. If there is truth that everyone deserves love and healing, what were the lies I believed that messaged I was not one of those people? I like to dream of a world peace, where we are all with one another instead of divided, where we share and celebrate the knowledge of our lands, each unique to what those have learned from adapting to their unique environments. Will there be a time of peace on Earth? We speak to it as if it had possibly existed before. Will we be able to coexist without the need to compare ourselves to one another, to acknowledge our differences as an important piece to form the collective picture as each of us connect to one another, creating a beautiful multidimensional puzzle? I like to think of it as family trees all connecting together. I would love to create or render a tangible model of this because my mind is having a hard time imagining it. I love knowing that we're all connected and woven together in this fabric of life, each thread beautiful on its own and within the tapestry. There is a physical pain in my heart whenever I think of those who do not see their own beauty. From my own experiences, I know that there are so many reasons one may never see themselves. I mourn this. I mourn those who have lived or will live the entirety of their lives without loving themselves or feeling loved. I know this journey has seen and felt a lot of suffering. There's been insurmountable pain on such a child's mind, body, and heart. I'm grateful that she is healing, and sometimes I'm conflicted with the thoughts of how I get to heal what others may never see or experience such an opportunity. I wonder if this feeling is similar to that of survivor's guilt, or it is that I feel deeply connected and concerned for others' well-being, as I know that pain and suffering can be so limiting, unbearable at times, and for some unbearable most often. I hope there is a way I can advocate and reach others to help them see a need for healing tools and modalities available to all in existence. We all deserve love and we all deserve healing. I feel children need us the most. That there needs to be positive education that is not fear-based to help our children know how to protect and empower themselves when their adults, caregivers, or providers may not be doing so. Little me sees the child in everyone. I know even the most broken of humanity was once an innocent child. When we see adults acting out in violence, selfishness, and recklessness, I understand that it comes from their own anger and hurt caused by that pain. That is hard for many to see outside of their trauma that is so deeply integrated into their mind and body. How do we reach these people whose basic need of love isn't being met? I can't, or can teaching humanity from a young age how to love themselves and others throughout their lives have a deep impact on the environment and state of the world? I feel that the collective consciousness is coming out of a state of repeated trauma that has been passed down generationally through wars, violence, addictions, and hatred. We can also include power and greed. How do we continue to move through and out of these cycles without repeating and reliving them? I feel in order to break these cycles, we have to bring all issues of humanity forward into light. When we allow and accept these things as being hid in the darkness, we create an imbalance between dark and light. Darkness is not meant to hold such things. It should be released and alchemized by the light. I believe this is often referred to as transmutation. If we realize the darkness of these things, that what will the dark become? I think of the dark as a rest and in there that is healing. Where are we in the light based on our shadow? We live each daily cycle in a day and night, the light and dark. There has to be more to the dark than evil or lack of light, as we often storytell as humans. I feel like I want to explore the mysteries of the night that sparkles with stars twinkling across the sky and the moon's brilliant luminance throughout its own cycles. If there are low levels of light within the dark, we can also see the shade and shadows in the light. I'm curious how and what this means in terms of how they work together on a deeper level than I currently know. I feel the natives of our lands who were connected to the maps of the sky knew how to explain this. I hope there is a way we can collectively share this knowledge of the ancients without misappropriating, to give honor to those people and cultures that became before us, to acknowledge that our way of living is with thanks and appreciation for the humanity that lived before us. I hope that we can also give respect to our elders, that there is a bridge between, or that it can be a bridge built between generations to have a better understanding and to learn from one another. Our elders have pushed limits and paved ways for every generation after to know a better way of living. Our youth pushes on the current limitations, paving ways the generations to follow. The world is currently changing, progressing at a rapid pace. Our youth has the ability to adapt quicker to these changes, as our elders may struggle to start living and adapting to such a different way of life, especially when new opportunities they have never had the chance to experience are suddenly opened up and available to them. I can have empathy for both the young and old and those in between. I imagine to arrive at a certain age where such vigor and perseverance it takes to adapt will begin to wane. I do not feel that this is something to look down on or fear. I see it as a state of arrival in life for those so lucky to reach, that they can slow down and reflect on the life they have lived, to see where they too were a part of the catalyst and change, but also to see where there is still room for change. I hope we will be open to hearing and listening to the wisdom of our elders. I would love to sit down with them and record their truths, to honor their stories and share with those who can learn from their history and life experiences, a living history, if you will. How enriched would our understanding of our ancestors and history be if we were to give so many a voice, to hear those who possibly have never been heard or share their own unique story. And that's where I left it.
Yeah.
Damn, Jana.
Oh,
Nice.
Thank you.
That was beautiful, heartfelt, vision. Love it.
Thank
You
you.
raw dogged that one, as we said. I love the line about the multi-dimensional puzzle, and
Yeah, I like that. Me too. That's the exact line that I like.
that hit me.
The thread or the puzzle being all
that where
connected.
healing journey is a shape that's not linear, that part.
Well,
yeah.
You said you imagine a place where we can all kind of, I forget the actual line, but that's the exact point that Max, like the puzzle point and the couple of lines before that was a nice picture.
Yeah, the couple lines before that, can people exist without comparing themselves to one another or something to that degree, which I was like, I don't think people can. It'd be nice. They say comparison is the thief of joy, right? I can't remember whose quote that is, but that was beautiful. And it also made me think, you're talking about the darkness and the stars in the sky, and all of the sudden I realized that if you look in space and you see darkness, you see like a spot of light, but like throughout all of the darkness, it's filled with light. You just don't see it until it crashes into something, until it hits something solid like matter that reflects. But it looks dark to us, but it's all filled with light. It's filled with photons in every direction. You just don't see it until it crashes into something.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
That's cool.
But it looks like deep blackness to us.
How long ago did you write this?
About 3 years ago.
Oh, okay.
When you read it now, what do you relate to the most?
It's helping me to understand purpose, because we've been talking about purpose, and I feel like in the end of it, where I kind of left off, it's like wanting to connect to the elders and share their stories. And I don't really know if that's like what that looks like, if it's putting a mic in front of our elders, if it's sitting down with them.
Tahitian dancing.
Well, like sharing people's stories. Like my grandfather had passed since then, and I never really got to I wish I could have sat down and recorded a conversation with him.
Yeah.
Because we live in a time now where we're doing this right now. We're talking, we're recording a conversation, and we're kind of getting a feel for how we just each got to read something that we wrote, and there's a lot of vulnerability in that and sharing that part of ourselves. And so I think, I don't know, maybe there's something to reflect on that, where there is a way to to connect us all and feel more of that, putting together that multidimensional puzzle or things like that, to have that recorded living history.
Yeah.
I have a question. Are you by any chance Native American?
I am.
Yeah. You are?
Yeah, 26% Chumash.
Oh, that's something. Yeah, that's cool. I think that's being in touch with your ancestors, I think, is a really big thing. Just because that's everything. All your ancestors, that's what we've lost. I think is indigenous values and our ancestors, being in touch with our ancestors. And when you are in touch with your ancestors, you don't have to relive all this, restart the journey from when you're born, because your ancestors are there to put the puzzle together. Here's the fabric. Now you can add to it. But when you cut off and you start an American.
He's gone. He was bringing the fire too.
There he is.
We lost you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You're not attached to your fabric, and you start a new fabric, and it kind of clashes, or maybe you don't even know how to make a fabric, and you're just totally watching TV, and you're So anyway, that's great. I'm glad that you're alive, and indigenous peoples are your indigenous values are intact to share with the world.
Well, it's interesting that you brought that up, because I just got a book about the Chumash. It's their narratives and some of the storytelling, because I am disconnected from that part of my family, that side. My father didn't know his father, so it's really interesting that you brought up, because I just got that book, and I'm curious to read it. And there's a lot of interesting sky coyotes and all this different stuff I get to read about.
Who gave you the book?
I just ordered it online. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, someone encouraged me to look to connect more with that side of my ancestry.
Who's that?
Her name is Ku'u. She's a Hawaiian woman here.
That's nice.
Yeah. She also teaches. She's got a degree in Hawaiian studies, and she does a lot of farming and teaches people through
Sounds very wise.
taking care of the land. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys have Kindles? Do you use Kindle?
I don't. I got the paperback book.
Yeah, me too. I don't have Kindle.
Kindle has
I
an
love,
iPhone app.
I love a good paperback, and I bought a Kindle a long time ago, but I'm like, oh no, I still love holding the book, but I've been forcing myself to use it, and now I love it. Like I have it in, you can lay in bed like this in the dark and read, and like it fits in my bag, and I have like, you know, you can just order a book and have it and then start reading it like immediately.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I like reignited my love for my Kindle, or maybe just ignited it because I never had it to begin with. Like I had to like force myself to use it, but now I like don't go anywhere without it. I love my Kindle so much.
Wow.
I highly recommend like
Yeah.
getting
That
one, and then you
makes
kind of
sense
just have to
because-
force yourself to
Yeah.
you know, get over the romanticism of like the curled paper and the smell of the
Yeah.
book. Like all of that is
Mhm.
great, but
Mhm.
having a Kindle really
It's only kind of great.
has changed my life. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
feel like it's a good transition to like get off your phone, right? Because it's still a screen, and like, what
That's
are you gonna
why I
do?
bring
You're gonna
it.
just be scrolling anyway, right?
That's why I deleted Instagram.
Yeah.
I deleted all social media off my phone, and I just bring my Kindle with me.
Nice.
So when I catch the feeling to get my phone, I my Kindle's next to it in my bag, so I'm like, oh, I just get that instead,
Mm.
and then I'm just reading.
That's really
Yeah,
cool.
it's really improved my state of mind in the last I don't know, a couple months now. I've been doing this.
Nice.
It's nice. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Kindle hack.
Yeah. And they're like waterproof. You can take them to the beach and stuff.
Oh yeah. Does it have a setting where you can read it like in the high sunlight?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can read it in sunlight. I mean,
Can you
it
read while
looks
you're
like
surfing?
paper.
Oh.
Mm.
You know, because it doesn't have like the glossy screen. Like it feels like you're looking at paper.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, I completely fell in love with my Kindle.
I heard the
Oh,
I
batteries
recommend it.
last really long on a Kindle too. Like
It's crazy.
a long time. Yeah.
I've
nice.
charged mine maybe once, and I've had it for 2 years, but I've started really using it a lot in the last like 2 months, but I haven't charged it. Yeah, it just stays on forever. Yeah, it's crazy how long they last.
One thing that I was thinking about when you're reading Jaina, your piece, is that you do a lot of like question and answer or like call and response style writing, almost like Socratic. You know, it's like asking a question and then like giving, you know, diving into that question. Did you notice that you do that kind of framework a lot?
That's a little bit like what my reflections is, just like questioning it, trying to figure it out.
Inquisitive
And-
pondering.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's a good
Hey,
format.
Hey guys, I think it's I am really happy that you invited me, Travis. Really,
Yeah.
really great to meet you, and I would like to finish it to the end, but I think I
Oh,
need to honor my wife and go
Of
before.
course.
No
Okay,
worries,
I
man.
think we're gonna
It's
wrap
awesome
it
that
up.
you're here.
We do an hour usually, so this is
Oh,
perfect.
really?
Yeah.
Maybe if you're wrapping up right now,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll watch how you wrap it up then.
Well, let's just say goodbye, everybody. Thanks for
that's it?
tuning in. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it.
That was
I
super
love your
fun.
studio too, Travis. It looks like fun.